going on, guys, and welcome back to Touchdowns to Home Runs. My name is Bernie. Thank you for joining us today on the Touchdowns to Home Run show. I hope that your day is going absolutely fantastic. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to say I hope everybody had a very, very Merry Christmas if you do celebrate, and hope that you guys were able to spend some quality time with both friends and family. Hopefully you did it in a safe way given the circumstances of the pandemic. But again, I hope everybody just had a fantastic week. Also, I know that some of you guys were wondering why I haven't really been posting recently. I was on vacation. I was on a trip in Jamaica. Absolutely beautiful place. I had a great time. Great culture there. If you guys ever get the chance to go there, check that out for whatever reason on vacation. Definitely make sure you do that. Again, absolutely beautiful place. But I'm now back to posting regularly on YouTube. Should be really exciting. I have some great video ideas planned. So if you guys like the content, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around. But today we're going to be doing sort of a breakdown around a kind of complicated but interesting question of, does Michigan firing their assistant coaches justify a contract extension for Jim Harbaugh? And I know that a lot of Michigan Wolverines fans are very opinionated on this topic, and it's a pretty tough one to break down, but we're going to try our best to do that today. And to do that, we have to start with Don Brown and Ben McDaniels. Don Brown, former defensive coordinator of the Michigan Wolverines, and Ben McDaniels, the quarterback coach, who's also expected to be fired, at some point in the second week of January. But in terms of Don Brown, I mean, if you guys have watched my previous videos, you guys know my opinions on him. A guy who's, was a highly, highly sought out defensive coordinator at the start of his tenure with the Michigan Wolverines, but he's been slowly declining in his defensive ranks every single year. His schemes are becoming predictable, and it was definitely time for a change. So Don Brown came to the Michigan Wolverines 2016. In his first year, had a defensive rank of number 2 in the country. In 2017, it's still respectable, but the defensive rank fell from number 2 to number 13. In 2018, fell another 3 spots to 16. In 2019, all the way down to 25. And after this 2020 season, he ended the year with a defensive ranking of number 96 in the country. And here's where I stand on this. Now, I know Michigan battled a lot of injuries this year. I know we lost a lot of people to the draft. So we had some inexperience, some issues on the defensive side of the football. But the issue that I have with the defense is not just that Don Brown was declining, but it's that in 2020 we were ranked number 96, again, with the recruits that we get in every single year. And I'm not even saying, from 2017 to 2019, we weren't even spectacular on defense. But at least we were somewhat respectable with the talent that we were bringing in. Regardless of the injuries we have, regardless, of the inexperience we had on the defense, I just personally cannot wrap my head around why we were ranked so low. You cannot tell me that there were 95 other teams who are more talented in terms of the recruiting class, in terms of the returning players, that are more talented than us on defense. And I don't know if anybody who's watching this video wants to say in the comment section if you disagree with me. I don't think there's many Wolverines fans who do. But it's my opinion that this Don Brown dismissal was long overdue, and thankfully Michigan did that earlier this week. Moving on to Ben McDaniels. Now, this is an interesting one. There were reports coming out, in previous days that Ben McDaniels will be dismissed on January 11th. Possibly Jim Harbaugh takes over as the quarterback's coach there, which is actually something I'm not that opposed to. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Ben McDaniels himself came to Michigan in 2018, took over as their quarterback's coach in 2019. And I mean, if you really look at it, he's had 2 really, really awful years. You're talking about a talented quarterback in Shea Patterson, who in 2019, people had really, really high expectations for. He was a guy who was supposed to go on draft day 2 and ended up being literally one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen in 2019. He's a guy who had a breakout year at Michigan and then completely sucked to not even getting drafted in the past NFL draft. And then obviously 2020 is probably what I'd consider the worst quarterback's year in a Michigan football season that I've ever watched, when you look at Joe Milton and what he wasn't able to do with the talent that he has, the raw talent that Joe Milton has, and what he wasn't able to show on the field this year. So if he does get dismissed on January 11, again, not opposed to it. And if Jim Harbaugh does, go into that head quarterback coach position, again, not opposed to it, obviously, he has a ton of experience, not only at the University of Michigan, but as a quarterback and also coaching, in the NFL. So I think he could be a fantastic guy to, guide JJ McCarthy, the 5-star that we have coming in, and hopefully see a turnaround next year. Now, we come to the question of, does this actually justify Jim Harbaugh getting, his contract extension? So I think Michigan is justified in firing the assistant coaches, but does this actually give reason to bring back Jim Harbaugh? And again, not an easy question to answer, but I think when you look at what each one of these coordinators and coaches have done by themselves, they haven't brought much to the table. So when you look at it from an outside perspective, Jim Harbaugh has not gotten a lot of help. And you can say what you will about Jim Harbaugh, but that's a really, really tough statement to argue with. Don Brown defensively has not been that much of a help since 2016. Ben McDaniels has not done very good in the past 2 seasons at least, with 2 very, very talented quarterbacks. We look at what other coaches have done. Shea Harbaugh with the running backs. The running backs, not fantastic this year. Special teams coordinator as well for Shea Harbaugh, but I think, it's more focused on the running backs when we talk about him. But Jim Harbaugh has not gotten a lot of help. Now again, always, like I say in the previous videos, when we look at Jim Harbaugh, the main reason that they're keeping him is because of the recruiting. He's bringing in the talent every year. Is it the assistant coaches who just aren't getting the job done with that talent? I mean, some of it definitely falls back on Jim Harbaugh. But I think it might be my opinion, and I'm trending more in this direction. I still want Jim Harbaugh fired, but I'm trending more in the direction that it's almost more important to give Jim Harbaugh at least one more shot and save our recruiting. I don't think we're at a position with our program that we can sacrifice the recruiting class that we got this year and the recruiting classes, that we're setting up for the next years. And we definitely don't want guys like JJ McCarthy, Xavier Worthy, guys like that to, leave or transfer or decommit because there's no Harbaugh and that experience there. Again, still want Jim Harbaugh fired when he does get extended, probably in the 1st or 2nd week of January. I will be upset, but again, I'm trending more in the direction to saying, well, okay, we actually might have a shot with some new faces around Harbaugh. Because at the end of the day, he still does things right, especially off the field in terms of the recruiting. And again, the numbers show that the assistant coaches were just not helping him get the job done. But guys, let me know your thoughts and your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of the dismissals of the assistant coaches and if you guys think that justifies a contract extension for Jim Harbaugh. But if you liked today's video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to Touchdowns to Home Runs. Again, have a very safe, have a very happy holidays, and I'm going to be posting more regularly on the channel again, so definitely make sure to stick around for that. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you again next time.